back for game number 3 here. Uebelst versus Vini Vidi Vici. They make it quite exciting because Uebelst took number 1, but Vini Vidi Vici striking back. Uebelst draft too greedy. I said it already in the draft. Roxas disagreed with me, but yeah, I'm getting that $10 we were betting for. Either way, let's hop into draft number 3 and let's see who wins now. Unless you have your microphone muted. Or you're AFK. Or you died. Or your internet is down. Okay, my co-caster is done for the day, I guess. I have no idea. But yeah, it's 1-1 here between both games. And with game number 3, we're gonna have the all-deciding game. Let's see who it is. The first ban stage is out. We have the Doom instantly banned out by Uebelst and the Lycan on Vini Vidi Vici side. And the Batrider directly following after. That means, yep, nothing surprising there. At least that's absolutely congruent with what we already had in game number 1 and 2. And now it's time for Uebelst to pick. Let's see. I mean, also Heflatv 2 is done now with the other games, so I hope some people from there join in here. No, actually, see, the viewers are not quite equally distributed, but let's see. Maybe that changes over time. Some people just didn't find that game, or people just join into the stream with the most viewer. That works just as fine. So the first ban stage is through. We have the Panda now as the last decision for Uebelst, and the first picks come out really, really fast. Rave King now for Uebelst instead of Sirkus like last game. Valex definitely has to go for another hero there. Maybe with the Faceless Void is already the one he's gonna go for, and a Tide Hunter as well. So it's a bit copy-paste Reno at the moment. What Uebelst is doing here, they secure both of those heroes. On the other side, we have another Chrono and, of course, one more pick. Let's see what it is. And judging by the rumble in the background, Roxas is back.
That's me.
Yeah.
So, Faceless Void, pretty good. Just in general, I think having him as a first overall pick is great. He used to be not picked too often just because the thought was he's really weak in the lane. But people kind of just realize that if you play it right and get more points and backtrack, and then you're pretty sustainable. Like, you can't really, like, a dedicated aggressive tri-lane, such as like Bane, Ancient Apparition, Mirana, something like that, can still punish him quite well, but those have kind of fallen out of style. People don't really like to run aggressive tri-lanes that much anymore. So that's a good first overall pick. And Wraith King, one of the best heroes against Faceless Void, just because if you can trade your ultimate cooldown for his ultimate cooldown, then it can actually work pretty well, even if he's just a support. And not to mention, we've already beaten to death the Power of Dire side Tide Hunter.
Yep.
But Vini Vidi Vici, they're going to secure a big, what I think was one of the biggest parts of their victory. We talk about the Phantom Assassin, but I think the Skywrath Mage actually played the biggest role in their victory in that last game, and they get to secure it again.
Absolutely. Skywrath Mage, I mean, the silences last game, I think Uebelst kind of broke their neck in those two team fights where the Panda really bought back. Died the first time because he went in, Blink Dagger, Thunderclap, he got that one through, and then instant silence, stun following him, and they were just focusing him down. Then he was like, yeah.
And he never built a BKB. He was going for a Shiva's Guard, which I didn't really understand.
The same for the anti-mage. Like, he went for a Manta, which I can understand, but like, I don't know, I think there should have been a lot more farm on him as well, but they tried to split push, but yeah, Sirkus, I don't know. The problem about the Panda was really like his diebacks. He bought back instantly and died again. That really didn't work out at all. That he repeated that even.
He only did it twice, but you ideally want to do it 0 times.
Yeah. No, I mean, but this really broke their neck because that always meant they lost the 2 team fights, and then in the last one, Sirkus just had too much disable, and they were not going back this time. Before, they were kind of backing off, a bit too passive for me, actually, but then again, why not? Why not?
I guess so, but I mean, they won, but I think the biggest thing is, like, why are you going to buy 4 Blink Daggers on your team and have no one initiate is the thing for me, and not to mention the only person that didn't buy a Blink Dagger was Anti-Mage, who has Blink as a skill, so it was crazy. I think they just had so much initiation and didn't use it. We'll see. I think they should just go back to the Shadow Shaman Death Prophet thing. Like, they played it really well. I think it's very strong. It's maybe a little bit harder when you have Faceless Void and Skywrath Mage on the board, but and maybe it's a little bit more execution based. It's not like you just pick it and you win. But you do have two very strong heroes as well with Blink initiations, and they're both pretty hard to bring down. So I would like to see Uebelst just go for the Shadow Shaman Death Prophet again. I think they did that very well, and I think that'll give them their best chance.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, the biggest reason for them not initiating with all their Blink Daggers was really that every time they tried to, like, someone just got nuked down. Like Avi, for example, he couldn't do anything. As soon as he was in there, like, he tried to get Master Weapon Woods up, plus a Shackled, instant interrupted with either a stun or, of course, the silence. But mostly, of course, silence was reserved for the Panda. But what I'm worried about is that in both games, like, it felt both teams are very passive for most of the time. Except, of course, when they try to go for ganks and when they feel like they have the momentum and can go for a push. But I don't know, overall, it really felt like they were holding back and farming. And now it's 1-1. It's the third game. I mean, it's close to $1,000. And, of course, those teams, they really want that money. And I don't know, like, I really have the feeling we have a game number 3 where we're gonna have a farm fest, a bit Chinese style. That's at least my prediction for this game. But let's see, the second bun stage is through. We have a Lich and a Mirana, and on the other side a Bane, which, okay, worked quite well for Vinivici in last game, and the Ancient Apparition. This one I did not expect.
I think the thing is, they ran the aggressive tri-lane, or I guess they're just scared of an aggressive tri-lane coming out from the Wraith King, so they just ban out two pretty good supports. Not to mention AA with Ravage is a pretty good combination. I don't think they really would have been able to punish that, and it's really good against the squishy heroes such as the Skywrath Mage. Not to mention, as soon as Faceless Void uses his Chronosphere, he's going to eat a nice blast to the face as well. So Shadow Demon, though, is, I think, the smartest pickup they could have gotten from here, because anyone that's in the Chronosphere, you just disrupt them, or you can disrupt them from the Mystic Flare.
That means Invoker now. Because they banned the Mirana themselves and pick a Shadow Demon right after. That means they want to go for something that comes after the disruption. And since they had Gasha on the Invoker,
you don't have to do that. If they do something, I would prefer they go for a Kunkka, to be honest.
A Kunkka, but Tidehunter and a Kunkka, they don't understand each other, you know. Like
hey, Invoker and Anti-Mage are on the same team last game. They work well together.
Oh, well, they lost. The end of all magic. Well, okay. That's why Gasha was never in the team fight.
You just couldn't stand being next to him?
Yeah, maybe they couldn't
that's why
just
you
stand
also want
each
to
other.
make sure you have Vengeful Spirit and Skywrath Mage on opposite teams, you know? But I totally lost my point. There was a game in ESL 1, and I think it was Fnatic and whoever they played in the first round, IG maybe? I don't remember exactly who they played.
EG.
But there was a Shadow Demon, and it was against a Faceless Void and a Skywrath Mage, and the defensive disruptions completely, like, won them the whole game. It was absolutely absurd. So I think Shadow Demon was really smart pickup there. Dazzle comes up, though. So it means they don't have any super hard lockdown, but they do have a lot of slows and synergy, in particular with Chronosphere. But Razor coming up, I think that's kind of risky.
I don't understand it. That's the problem. I just don't understand this pick. I don't understand the Shadow Demon, how he fits in here. I mean, of course, overall, it's a good support, but, like, I mean, if you have a Shadow Demon, you might as well pick something that is in synergy with a Disruption, and therefore, I really don't understand, especially because now, on Vinividivici's side, we already have, a nice combo. We have the Flare plus the Chronosphere. Now we have a Dazzle. Dazzle can come up with anything. There's always a nice synergy, and Uebelst won't have an Axe. An Axe doesn't fit in that draft. That means the Shadow Crave is actually useful in this game, and I don't know. Let's see. I mean, I think they have to pick more greedy, and yeah, talking about greedy, Tinker mid versus Razor.
That is a little bit annoying for Tinker to deal with, but because he does have some pretty good base damage, as you know, you are a big Tinker fan, but it doesn't really matter. He just levels March, he farms Ancients, he farms Camps because he's on the Radiant side, and Dazzle's probably going to stack for him, so I don't think they can really contest his farm. The Razor is interesting, though. I think it's particularly good against Faceless Void because as long as you stay back, you can get the Eye of the Storm and you can drain his damage while he's in the Chronosphere and doesn't do a whole lot, especially with the Disruption. So, like, it's good-ish, but they essentially picked two heroes just to make Chronosphere less effective. But they still had two cores to pick up. And Tinker, he doesn't need Chronosphere to be effective. And there can be, I think, a pretty powerful offlaner, something like maybe a Timbersaw could be pretty good. That isn't going to care about the slows from Demonic Purge, can do very well against the Wraith King and the Tidehunter as well. Has good synergy with the Chakram in the Chronosphere. Like there were 2 cores left on the table that they would need to be able to make sure they could do well against. And Razor is pretty safe in general for a 1v1 mid matchup, but that's why the Tinker is so smart, because he's one of the heroes that just... So what if he loses a lane to Razor? Lots of heroes lose a lane to Razor. No! We get a Pugna.
Yep, there's a Pugna. That adds at least some pushing power against Uebelst, and a push you can't really stop because, I mean, much of the machines and everything, that's all cool, but the biggest problem, of course, is you can't really stop the Nether Blast, plus the ward against the Tinker. It's quite annoying, actually. It's very annoying, even, because you have 2 spells you spam, plus then the rearm, and then another 2 spells. That's at least 6 times the Nether ward, just, you know, kicking your ass pretty much, plus of course the minus armor all the time coming out, which is definitely hurting the 2 supports as well, because they are both pretty much on the edge with all their mana, and I definitely like that pick one.
Like Dazzle's mana is not that, like his mana cost isn't very high relative to his strength, but heroes that really suffer against Pugna, like Skywrath Mage, is just at the top of the list because his mana gain to health ratio is just absolutely absurd. And the other thing too is it makes it really difficult for Tinker to get a Blink Dagger, just in general, because the Netherward's always going to be stopping him, no matter if he's in fog, and it also points out where he is. So this is, of course, a lineup with a best buy date from Uebelst. They have a Pugna, they have a Razor, which aren't going to scale nearly as well as a Bristleback, Void, and a Tinker. So I think Vini Vidi Vici a little bit of an outdraft here, as long as they just weather the storm. But if you're going to break base against a Tinker, Pugna definitely one of the best heroes for the reasons that we were thinking of.
Yeah, absolutely, because he doesn't really care. He can even walk just some steps into the marching machines, just giving a Nether Blast out and doing all the damage. So I think tower-wise, we're gonna have definitely advantage for Uebelst, and if they can swim on that wave of gold, that's pretty much it.
Is this a support Razor? This is support Razor. I don't like that.
No, this is not support Razor.
Oh.
No,
oh, okay.
It's played by Sky, so
they traded,
no.
but he bought his items and then they traded. Okay. Oh man, they got me. They got me with the troll. But let's just introduce the teams.
Yep.
So
really fast.
On the side of Vini Vidi Vici, we're gonna have N playing on your Dazzle. Valix is gonna be playing on your Bristleback. The Tinker going to be going into the mid lane once again from Karjalata. And we're going to have the Faceless Void being played by Sony. It looks like he'll be going into the off lane. And last but not least, the man that's going to be made pretty sad by Pugna. It's going to be the Skywrath Mage, played once again by Timsu.
Yep, and here on Uber's side we have already a Gank Train who is not really finding anything. We have Ida here playing on the Shadow Demon. We have, of course, Avi playing the Wraith King, then Gasha playing the carry Pugna. I don't know if he's as inactive as he was on his Invoker last game, but with this Pugna he has to be active, he has to bring the tower damage in the sky. Playing here the carry Racer, and last but not least is Wern, again on a Tidehunter. What means again? I mean, again, at least in a combo of a Tidehunter, because last game he was Panda versus Tidehunter, which he actually lost. He died once solo to the Panda, and this time he's gonna face Sona here in the offlane.
You have it opposite. Wern was the one that got the solo kills.
Yeah.
It's just kind of confusing because he's the one playing the Tidehunter this time.
I'm turning it all around. Yeah, Wern was the Panda, and he got the solo kill against the Tidehunter, who was someone else. This way around, it's correct. Ah, yeah. Good that I have you, Roxas. Without you, I'm nothing.
It's true.
Oh no, it's not.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, but anyway, at least it's a 1v1 melee matchup against a Tidehunter is just awful, just because of the nature of Anchor Smash. That's what we were talking about earlier. Just 30 mana to reduce 60% of your base damage is just absolutely absurd, and he's just going to keep doing it. So Sony did level backtrack at level 1, so he's backtracking actually a lot of this harassment.
Yep, he's well aware that he needs
to. Get all his levels.
Yep, absolutely. So we have Trilane versus Trilane. The Pugna in the mid actually getting quite some harass damage, but also turning it around. I don't know. Now the Tinker trying to go here. High ground, low ground. They crapify it, suck Nether Blast on top of it. It's like, I don't know. I think, yeah, the Pugna definitely won this one really, really fast. But, wow, look at this. Wern being super aggressive. And bottom lane? What is bottom lane?
Bottom lane's being super aggressive as well. Sky just being very aggressive with the static link from the Bristleback, but he can always use his Quill Sprays to secure CS. He actually hasn't used any of them at all. Just wants to save his mana, I guess, for when they get a few levels. Maybe he wants to get level 2. but I think that both of these lanes are going to be kind of static, just because the counter initiation from both of them is really good. In the tri-lane versus tri-lane, there are kind of three main heroes that stick out that you don't really want to tri-lane against, which are Shadow. Here has Shadow Demon, the other side has Dazzle, so...
Was your internet just gone? Or...
did I cut out for a second?
Yeah, no, you were like... and then Shadow Demon. I was like, what? What? Where are you? Roxas, you're gone.
No, I was saying the three heroes that are just... The three supports that are really... Okay, well...
Oh, look, they want to go here for Sky. There is... there's Soul Catcher Disruption, but Avi is going for a stun on the Dazzle, so... Yeah, now Avi actually is the one who has to run. There's Nezuko, level 1. There's the second stack, he's still going. There's no more mana, but of course the right clicks. Maybe Nezuko 4, but he's using the sticks, and therefore they don't get the kill. Now maybe some turnaround here on Timsu, because all the right clicks of Sky, they really hurt, but now he's of course slowed, but there's, it's definitely not enough on Timsu. Now maybe they can turn around. He can't really go for anything else. The Arcane Bolt, that would be bad. There's another Arcane Bolt here on Eda. Now Eda has to run, and he's using Disruption. There is a poison actually ready on N, but he's not using it. If he turns around, maybe that would be possible. Okay, this one going without heal, that's absolutely unexpected.
So that's what I was talking about. Just before I cut out, I guess, there are three supports that are just really good in aggressive tri-lanes, or just tri-lane versus tri-lane, which are Shadow Demon, Dazzle, and Visage. And what I was saying is that...
N is trying to deny that rune. Yeah, and he's definitely denying it. But now he's stuck in the creeps, but he has to use another tango just to get out there. Valix, they try to, I don't know, do something on Eda, but... I don't know. The biggest problem is that you can't really do anything against the Shadow Demon. If you come too close, he's just gonna disrupt you and run away.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, is like, we see a lot of wounds licked and a lot of Panther, but I don't think that kills are really going to come here, just because one side has Shadow Demon, one side has Dazzle, so I think both of them are going to kind of get their farm. Maybe it's a little bit in Sky's favor because he is ranged and he also does have a static link, so I think where we're really going to want to look is in the mid lane and in the off lane in these two 1v1 matchups to see where we're really going to see the game kind of figure itself out.
Yep, and Sona here actually really dropping low. The Anchor Smash level 3. Now he's gonna use, of course, himself, bringing back some HP, and he also has 7 charges on his stick. But in the meantime, of course, we see Static Link harass on Sky. He's not getting too much, also Concussive Shot just to slow him down. And now there's a little race for the rune, but I think this one, it is not gonna win this. But there's a disruption, but they're not going to go for anything. Soul Catcher is being cast, but hell, he doesn't really want anything with it. Now, yeah, Tinker just getting some damage from his own illusions, but no, he's just going back to it. Yep.
He's got his boots up now as well. He's got them sitting in the stash, so he'll probably get his soul ring up pretty early, so that'll help him just with the health regen, deal with the harassment from the Pugna as well, as he can start spamming his soul ring whenever he starts stacking her. He can start farming those with March. And it looks like he is going to be going for the March build, so...
Yeah,
he's just looking to farm. He's
doesn't
not
get
looking
anything else.
I
mean, this way, Ancients it is, and he can also go to the mid camps. Unfortunately, the supports, of course, they're so busy in a tri-lane, that means they don't have time to actually stack for the Tinker. Then again, the Tinker, of course, he can go here directly in this position and then farm both camps. So it's quite effective. It's pretty much the same we see always with the Radiant Shadow Fiends. Just, of course, another way. The one is raising, the other is marching away. But let's see, 5 minutes and we have no first blood, even though we had quite some action already going on. I mean, like so many salves, so many tangos already eaten through and used.
It's just,
yeah,
just the power of Shadow Demon and Dazzle, man. That's all it comes down to. So, all the players just playing pretty cautious. Gasha, though, he's going to start pushing the lane. He already picked up an early headdress before finishing up Mana Boots, so he's pushing that lane, giving his creeps a little bit more regen. Plus, he's got that,
I think maybe this time they go for Sky, but there is a defensive disruption now. There is a stun here on Valix. He has to take care. He's actually quite low. There might be, actually, no, there's not. There's no Shallow Crave yet. Avi is slow. There's a second stun soon now, and Valix, oh my god, he just makes it out here. There is, Plasma Field not getting through. Now Avi, he has to care. There is a Concussive Shot in and now. Oh my goodness, the tower. But Sky is trying to make something possible. He's slowed again. There's bristles, more bristle damage, and all the right clicks plus the tower. It's gonna be enough for a second kill. Maybe they want to even go for more, but the problem is Dazzle has no stick. Therefore, like, it's a huge loss that he actually doesn't have a stick, because with the stick,
I think it's better that he has the boots, though. It's more important for him, I think, to be in range to get the shallow grave or get the shallow wave off. instead of having the stick. As long as he's just conservative with his mana like he was then, he'll have the spells when he needs them, and we saw them play a huge role in that fight.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, they're all back to the lane, but still 2-0 here for Sirkus or Vini. It's, yeah, definitely the start we were looking for. It took almost 6 minutes till we saw the first blood, and now the Titanhunter just going to the side and TPing out. He's going actually to the other lane because he has Ravage. He is level 7, and I think they want to just make something happen on this lane. That would be tri-lane +1. As soon as someone is coming back here, this is really turning out badly. But of course, I think they want to go for something else. Maybe in the mid, a gank here, Dazzle plus Skyraf Mage. Skyraf Mage is only level 3. Not much you can do with it. And I don't know, Prisselback, Valix here, also smoked up. He's going back to the lane. I think he's gonna see Wern as soon as he's there. And yeah, they know the Titanhunter is there, which means they're gonna pressure the tower. But Prisselback is not going in here. He knows it's too dangerous.
Yeah, so they'll pressure the tower at the very least, but Timsuj is going to be getting some experience mid while the Tinker is farming those Ancients. He has his Soul Ring as well, so he got that value point in the rearm with the Max March, so he can start spamming that out with his Soul Ring and bottle throwing. Meanwhile, in the Faceless Void, he gets a lot of levels and solo experience in the top lane, starts pushing that as well.
Yep.
So
He's gonna be happy with that one. Oh, but in the mid we finally have to go. There's the Sigil as well as the slow, but nothing else coming. And also, of course, the Nether Ward, this most annoying spell, of course, of the Pugna, besides his Nether Blast against buildings. But I don't know. I think Vini, oh god, the name, I love it. Vini. They didn't trade very well here. They let this tower happen. In the meantime, the damage on the top tower is quite insignificant. I mean, like 30-35% damage. The only thing worth to mention, of course, here is that Sonic got some solo XP, some nice farm there, and the Tinker has been farming all the Ancients in the meantime. He is like 700 gold away from his BUTs, and the Trident is re-established going back, but of course no tower, which means less rotations. The Titan is back to his lane, so they don't have to fear the Ravage, which of course makes it possible for them to farm. So I don't know if that was a good decision, like letting that tower drop or not even going for something in mid, but talking about in the mid, they already went for it and they don't even care about this ward. They get the ward gold on top of it. That's 60 gold. Isn't it 75 on later? Oh, but bottom, we actually have to go here on Valix. There is the Shallow Grave coming out. He's still not dead, but he has Shadow Poison. There's stack number 3. They definitely get this kill, so it's a 1-1 trade after all. It's the first kill for Uebelst, but at least they get some damage done here also in the mid on the tower. There's a double damage on the Tinker. March of the Machines level 4, of course, taking care of that creep wave. Now let's see if they want more. Now a Plasma Field, but only level 2 by Sky. I don't know, like, let's see what the Tinker can make happen in the mid. At least maybe 50% damage.
He has his boots of travel though. That's the thing. He's got 9.5 minutes boots of travel. So this opens up an entirely new
it wasn't even a rush. It was soaring plus bottle plus some side items, and now he just got the BUT. So definitely worth it. He's gonna stack that camp here at the 53-second mark, or maybe he's actually gonna interrupt that. Maybe he's gonna stack but not farm it, because in the mid he might want to spam March of the Machines before those 3 heroes come in with the Nether Blast and everything. Yeah, and he's definitely doing that now. March of the Machines is gonna be used as well as the rockets. They're gonna use the cliff, and I don't know, maybe they want to go for more. The Titan is in, getting some hits there. There's someone else. There's the Tinker coming. A second March of the Machines. Oh, he's getting really low. Look at this. The tower's going down. Killed by the Razor. But in the end, nothing really happening.
So good against Skywrath. He just threw out an Arcane Bolt and then he was at half health. An Arcane Bolt and a concussive shot. It's just, it's so absurd. So
Netherworld, they really have to focus this one.
Is this a BKB game for Tinker? Do you go BKB even before something like a Blink? Like, what is your build if you're playing Tinker this game against the Pugna?
I would go for Dagon build here, simply because he's gonna give sometimes targets the defensive Decrapify, which is pretty much your shotgun. It's your free shotgun by the enemy. So
even in the face of the Netherward, do you think that's gonna be fine?
Yes, of course.
Alright. I just don't play very much Tinker, so.
No, but like, why not going for Dagon here? You have some targets you can burst down easily, some targets that, like, I don't know, like really want to get bursted really fast, especially like the Pugna and the Shadow Demon. I don't know, I definitely... Oh yeah, Couch is just telling us our in-game microphone is somehow disabled or something. Maybe that's the case. I probably forgot it, so I'm just gonna do it really fast.
My dialogue box is coming up, so I know that mine's on.
No, mine was disabled from yesterday still.
Man,
because
screw
we cast on
everyone watching
ESL.
Dota TV, right?
Yeah, but I usually don't care about Dota TV anyway, so...
Anyway,
There's another
5
English
manning up in the
broadcast, I
top
think,
lane.
anyway on this game, so I don't really care. They can go for the other one. But now it's enabled for all the people that are looking for. Either way, I think it's top tower time. The tower also really being low. The Tinker actually coming in, and there is a chrono on 2 people. Like, we're in really low. There is there has been no flare yet, but there the weave on so many people. Valix maybe is going for more, but pushing into that nether ward doesn't really work. There is now a disruption. Nether blast directly on top of it. He's gonna get that damage as well as the stun. 3 stacks, 4 stacks shadow poison. He is so going down. 8 sticks charges. He's surviving that. He doesn't need to use it. In the meantime, Zone, Vern just bought back. He wants to go for the Ravage. The Ravage is coming, not hitting anything. This was...
It catches Zone.
Shiva! Shiva!
It caught Zone, man. He was TPing by the secret shop. It canceled his TP.
Shiva! Do you know that video about Shiva? Like, she's really the most horrible player on the freaking planet when it comes to Tidehunter. Like, wow. Like, this Ravage was so useless.
That was actually one of the first times I actually like watched the Dota stream. I mean, was around that time too. So.
No, like there is on YouTube. Just like whoever is interested in, just type Shiva plus Tidehunter. Like she's playing there with Poppy and Sing Sing, and she's doing Tidehunter Ravages, and she's failing pretty much every single thing. Every single thing, but
did you know that Bulldog has a genuine Blink Dagger cosmetic for Tidehunter autographed by Shiva?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean he never plays Tidehunter. They always have S4 play it, but.
But in the meantime, Zone, maybe they want to go here for Warren. They have, of course, the concussive shot. There is no Ravage out whatsoever, so they definitely go for it. He's slowed. Oh, perfectly done. But of course, it removed the debuff just by the Kraken Shell. Now they just have to follow him, and he's trying to TP out. Where's the bash? Where's the bash? No bash whatsoever, so he's making it out into the base. This is when you need the bash. Well, Warren is saying, nice try. Kappa. Please bash. He's sharing my thoughts. I think this was like 5 hits and no bash.
This is a 5-kill game in 14 minutes.
Yep, I told you in the draft, like, they were already very careful when it came to game number 1 and 2, but now it's even more horrible. It's like they really want this win. That's why they play just full out farm, try to get everything that's 100% safe, and if it's not 100% safe, they just don't go for it. I mean, Uebelst is like really just banking on the fact that they're gonna get towers, and yeah, it really looks like the Puckness at least a bit successful. 2 towers, 3 towers down, and I don't know. Let's see.
Well, once they have Ags on Razor, it's going to be that much harder.
Yeah,
so.
True. Oh, they want to go here. What is N doing there? I don't know, but the fact is he's going down, even with a lot of overkill.
Yeah, it's fine. Sometimes you just gotta feed, man. Makes the game interesting.
You have to just sacrifice a dazzle so you win the game.
It's like, there's the economy of the game which is fed by kills, and you need to make sure that people go out and die. It's just sacrificing for the greater good.
It was a good day to die, but talking about dying, Warren this time can't run away with the Chronosphere, and there's the revenge. Maybe they want to even go for more. There's another ward, of course, they have to clean this one up. The Dazzle is already taking care of that, and Uebelst is, going back, but maybe there's another blast actually hitting the Dazzle, and a lot of Shadow Poison, of course, coming in, and I don't know. Yeah, Uebelst just going back. Warren, not working out for him. It's not his day, to be honest.
EDE is going for the max Shadow Poison build, by the way, so with these long sieges at the towers, where you kind of have these Mexican standoffs, that's where Shadow Poison is the most effective, because I think it's, 50, so it's 50 damage per stack, and if you get like 5 stacks, it's a lot of damage, so
yeah,
that's
absolutely. And the Tinker is gonna get even fatter now. This is a triple stack, actually. Somehow it doesn't get stacked. It's already quadruple. Yeah, this is Golan's double dragon. So yeah, a quadruple stack here being farmed, and yeah, the Tinker already having Blink. I think the next step will be, he finished his nulls, so I really think this is gonna be Dagon.
Yeah, it could be a Dagon here. So that'll work out. Lots of squishy targets, like you were mentioning before. Pretty much everyone except for the Tidehunter and the Wraith King. going to be a while before Razor starts to build pretty tanky. The Ags obviously is going to help. He's probably going to pick up his Ogre Club in just a little bit. So he's a little bit harder to burst down, especially because of the little jolt you get from Unstable Current after you use a single target spell on him. But still, going to be a useful pickup nonetheless.
Yep, and talking about useful pickup, we're going to have a Roshan versus a tier 1 tower. I guess, considering you're on the Radiant side, that's a good trade. And I have something else off topic for you. Did you see Shivas is still in the ESL1?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see the interview? That was the most hilarious thing I've seen in a while. Like, are you in esports? Yes. What are you doing? I manage Shiver's Facebook. Oh god, this really made my day. The problem was I was casting at the same time. I was watching the interview while I was just putting the live feed into the stream, and I had to laugh out so hard and so long that I actually had to like delay the draft for like 2 minutes because I just couldn't cast at that point. Because are you into esports? Yes. What do you do? I manage Shiver's Facebook. Yeah.
I love when you just lie. You're like, I'm Shiver's, public relations associate. I guess.
Yeah, no. Actually, the correct term is SMM. But before we talk more about this one, I think we have a go here. It's on Valix. There is a static link. He's gonna go leech him. Try. There's already 80, 112, and a bit more damage. No, it remains 112. And maybe this is now where the Aegis, the push we are looking for. So Uebelst taking the first step in getting this game a bit more active. I mean, 7 kills in 18 minutes. The only thing they have to deal with is of course the March of the Machines. There is the first one incoming, and there is actually another ward. They have to get rid of this one. Another blast on the tower, chipping away some damage, just making a dent in it, but I don't know. Like, the March of the Machine is of course always a bad thing. But he can't keep it up.
I think
look at it. He can't keep it up.
It would have been great if they actually picked up an Enchantress here, just because all you have to do is enchant one creep and then you just destroy backdoor region no matter where it is. But obviously, I think that as opposed to a Wraith King, obviously maybe not the best, but that's the thing I always think about when people complain about backdoor region.
Oh, and Sona was found. The plasma field actually hitting him. He's time walking away, and now, of course, maybe the tower soon in deny range, but the next Nether Blast might actually completely take him out. How much building damage is it on level 4?
I think it's like 2...
Oh, it was not enough. It's 13. Where's the deny? Where's the deny? There's the deny. Perfectly done. So at least they deny the tower. In the meantime, they already pushing the tier 2 and Valix. Oh my god, they got caught out by the Ravage. So, and actually saving himself here. They need another interrupt, but they don't have it. He actually makes it out. Tinker was actually in here. March of the Machines. Avi has to take care that he's not going down. But oh my god, before he actually dies, he is... Oh my god, he doesn't even die in the March of the Machines.
There, just with one laser.
Yeah, one laser or right click would have done the thing, but in the meantime we have a pause coming out here. There's Valix TPing out with a static link active on him, and I have to go away because the sound is just horrible. And I don't know.
Oh yeah, the sound of the static link. God, there's one sound that I hate that I feel like is paused over my game. I guess it's a hero that I must play a lot if I hate it so much and hear it all the time, but it's not TPing. TPing is pretty annoying, but that's kind of universal. But
yeah, TPing is horrible. But here it is TP plus static link. Look, like listen to the sound.
Okay, that's
it's horrible.
Okay, yeah. I after hearing that, I think I'll go back to the Razor and Bristleback. Thank you very much.
It sounds like a broken vibrator or something.
Oh my god.
Like one of those 1950s vibrator that that work with gas instead of batteries, like where have an engine in the background. Oh well. Oh, by the way, back to our off topic, we already had it. Like, yeah, the official name is SMM, Social Media Manager. Today in the on the Skype group of Dota 2 managers, someone was actually looking for like employment as a SMM, and the funny thing is I had to look up what that is, and I was just in case, we need SMM on Heflatv, someone who takes care of all the social media, VODs, and all that relationship promo stuff whatsoever. And yeah, I had to look it up. SMM. So yeah, Shiver's sister is officially very much into esports because she's SMM of Facebook. So
hey, it's esports creating jobs, man. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Either either way, we're gonna use that pause just to have a look into the graphs for a short while at least. Like, Vini Vidi Vici had about 5 days, even a bit more than 5,000 experience lead, but now it's dropping down with 2,000 because the trade in the mid wasn't really the best, and Uebelst also getting more and more towers, which of course doesn't give you XP, but they create more and more space on the map where Vini Vidi Vici can't even use their shorter way of TPing, etc. Roshan also went in their way at the 18th minute. And let's see, when it comes to gold, Uebelst actually had all the time a lead of like 2,000, but now Vini Vidi Vici, like despite all their towers being lost, 1,000 at the moment for Vini Vidi Vici. I think this graph is gonna be corrected just a bit in the next couple of seconds. What are they saying here in all chat?
Oh,
Kappa Kipo Orange PC crashed, but he rebooting with you.
I mean, I just made a joke about the orange box, man. Steam, Volvo. And no one thinks it's funny. Anyway.
Oh, let's hear the sound again.
I'm so...
Oh, okay. Enough of that.
God, what heroes do I play that much? This is really bothering me, you know, kind of like when you have a song stuck in your head and you can't think of the name of it. Oh, I know what it is. It's Chakram from Timbersaw.
Yeah, the chakram sound. If you have that permanently all the time, Jesus. Yep, that's
I like throw out a chakram and there's a pause.
And here, by the way, if you only want to have the TP sound, like the Dazzle one is still in the fountain, just go on Dazzle. You have like this, the end of the TP sound. I know I'm good in making sound, but
You might as well take up some voice acting.
yeah, Volvo, please, like, just write me Heflatv here, please, for new in-game sounds. I gotta make some awesome sounds somewhere.
Can you make a new sound for the crits and basher? Because those sounds are terrible.
Really? No, the crit one is actually amazing. Like, splash. That's awesome.
No, it's like darker and it sounds more like crumpling trash. Like, in my opinion, it doesn't sound epic or like.
Well, that applies for most of the pubs. You know, with huge crits, you take the trash out.
Okay. But I mean, for instance, like Tidebringer has a really satisfying sound. So does Abyssal Blade. It has a really good sound. It's just they're just clean and satisfying. You know.
You know what's the biggest problem is for me? I play without sound most of the time. Like especially when I'm streaming on my private channel Heflatv here. I actually play without sound, so I can play music plus listen to other people. Because mostly I'm playing with some players from I don't know, from the Romanian scene, for example. I play with We or players from Next Please, like Illusionist, for example, Keanu, like those people. And then I just hate it when I have in-game sound plus music for the stream plus like Skype or TeamSpeak. This is really just making me nervous. Like 3 or 4 instances of certain or different sounds. No, this is too much for my brain.
Oh man, I'm the complete opposite. I'm the one that has music and like I'll be listening to people and you know like I'll have a cast going on in the background as well, like maybe a VOD I missed and like and then in-game sounds are just so important for me. Like that's actually why I hate Silencer so much. Just because when he uses global, you can't hear the sound of any of the spells casting, and I rely on those so much. Like during the game, I always wait for hearing a certain spell instead of seeing it, like more often than not. So, and like I think the sound engine in Dota is just like one of the greatest because just the depth perception, like how far away things sound and where it sounds like they're coming from, relative to where your location is and where your camera is on the minimap is just perfect. Like maybe that's not worth highlighting, but I think that's one of the best, especially in a non-FPS game, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because the source engine was built around FPS, and the sound engine was made to emulate that. But that's one of the reasons, actually, why I like Dota so much is just because I can hear like a QoP Sonic Wave or something and know that it's by top lane and how far it is and stuff like that before I even look at the minimap. So.
No, to be honest, you know what game actually destroyed my perception on sound? I mean, you know, I started like James in the FPS scene. I was a Counter-Strike player all my life, pretty much, since it came out into 1.6, and then I stopped as soon as they came up with Source. That was
Oh,
that was
really?
the start of my esport. Like I stopped with Source, and then I, like even in that time, some people tried to recruit me for World of Warcraft and everything. They said like, yeah, you're all the time already into esports and you got time, you got internet and everything. So I went into World of Warcraft, and that was really competitive. And first I was into a guild. That was one of the first guilds that actually made the boss modes. You remember boss modes in World of Warcraft? Those who tell you, now go left, now this ability comes, etc., etc. Things telling you what the boss
I know
does.
of them, but I actually never played World of Warcraft.
Oh, okay. So, but I'll tell it
Mine
maybe
is a demo.
for
Like,
some
I played a
viewers.
demo.
But anyway, like my guild was called like one of my guilds, and in the German scene was called La Vendetta. So the Vendetta boss modes, then later Deadly boss modes, the DBM boss modes. Like my guild actually wrote those boss modes, and since we had those boss modes, we didn't need any sound anymore because I mean, the sound was already programmed into the engine, and then we programmed that into the boss modes. Therefore, we knew everything, so I could like really focus on whatever else. So I disabled for all my time from the US beta and World of Warcraft till the end, even through my successful career in World of Warcraft, getting like the world first with Forte and Inner Sanctum. I disabled sound. And then when I started playing Dota again, I mean I always played Dota, like whenever I had time in between, but when I came to Dota, then I don't know, like I just don't care about sound anymore, even though I should, because it's still giving you away a lot of things. Like sometimes, you know, for example, when an alchemist is stunning or channeling his stun, like sound is
Or a
important in
shadow
Dota
blade
too.
goes off as well, like in fog, for instance. Like
Yeah.
say for example, like where this ward is up here in the top lane. Like say you're here farming creeps and someone's in the fog here and they use their shadow blade, you couldn't hear that. So
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like if you really want to go for like Dota beyond the 4K trash MR, then sound is definitely required. But then again, it's really just some minor things. Like most of the things are percepted via just, you know, your screen in Dota 2. So sound is not the most important thing in Dota. Either way, now I'm just a caster and sometimes game to play streamer. That's pretty much it. So I don't really need it. But from time to time I have.
Let's talk about the game again.
Yeah, let's talk
Razor-
about the game again. In the mid we actually have that ward, it's already being destroyed, but they crapify directly on it. So, yep, another blast on Sona, and there is the chrono. Do they use a stun here on Sona? He can't really dodge it. There's also defensive disruption flare directly after. There is a Dagon. Did I just see a Dagon? Yep, that was a Dagon of the Tinker. Now Sona, of course, in huge trouble. He's getting stunned the second time, but of course Valix is going through there. There's a lot of damage, but he's also getting soaked dry. This is almost the maximum you can get now. We have the maximum 224. That's exactly what you can get. If he goes for right clicks, it really starts to hurt, but there's the Crapify. Now look at the right clicks, another plasma field. They still don't get him down now finally, but he had the Aegis, so he's going down. The poor Skywrath Mage pretty much killed him, and in the end, the Bristleback also going down just by the Shadow Poison, and I think they have to retreat, even though Avi still has his ultimate, but the Tinker, of course, he's spamming March of the Machines. What a fight. That was horribly taken by Vinny Vidivici, actually.
Yeah, that was like the Void he aggressively time watched forward after the Chronosphere and he just instantly died because the whole team was there. They kept focusing on the Razor as well, and he's the one that had the Aegis. Now he has his Aghanims done. So lots of cooldowns used. I think most importantly the Reincarnation was not used and the Blade Mail got finished on him. So I think Uebelst is doing pretty well here. The important thing though is going to be that Bristleback makes sure that he just doesn't
but look
die.
at Valix. Oh, there's another chrono because of the 60 seconds, and the flare actually split amongst two, so not doing too much damage, but there's the Ravage, but instantly he's getting taken out. So two already down for Vinny Vidivici, and only the Titan, and now he's leeching all the damage, but there is so much coming out. Avi is gonna die under the tower. They are slowed. Another Nether Blast even hitting on Sono. Actually he's gonna disjoin it just by the time walk, but still 3 down and just for 1, so they're gonna continue here. There will be of course a bit harassed by the Tinker, but in the end they're gonna be able to get that tower down. Another Nether Blast, and of course the ultimate of the Razor. Nice positioning also by him, so the ultimate going full time on this tower. Tier 2 is going down. They trade another 2 for 1, no 3 for 1 actually, and this was really successful. So Uebelst not just making a dent, they actually make a huge strike here against Vinny Vidivici.
Yeah, very, very well done there. And Wraith King Ultimate used, and they have so much damage against towers as well as Shadow Poison Max, and the Soul Catcher Max just doing absolute work as well. And not to mention, getting all of your utility items on Gasha, really helping them as well. So Tidehunter actually, he looks like he's going to be going for his own Blade Mail as well. So it's just going to be really, really difficult for Vinividivici to fight, because you have the Nether Blast that's going to return damage anytime you cast a spell, and then you're going to have two Blade Mails that are going to return damage anytime you put out any physical damage. So it's just going to be really difficult to outlast Uebelst's push, and the way that they can siege towers is...
To be honest, the Tinker will kill himself at some point. Like, like if they actually get this, like, I mean, the Blade Mail is on the way for the Tidehunter. He's gonna have it for the next fight, pretty much. And Avi has... Does he have it? Yeah, the Broadsword. The Broadsword is directly in the courier. That means 2 times standing in the March of the Machines and just killing the Tinker. So he has to be really careful, but at the same time they go for a tier 2 tower, while Uebelst is trying to go, maybe going already for a tier 3 tower. There will be March of the Machine spam, of course, some rockets. It's slowing down Uebelst, but of course it's not really, I don't know, it's not too effective. Like, the Tinker actually can hold them back for quite a while, and he's doing that. There is of course a pipe slowing the entire thing down, but nevertheless the creeps are already down. Now the backdoor protection is gonna come soon up. They're rotating back in the base, but Uebelst is still standing outside. Mac being used, and there's another Urn, but Urn of course not for very long. Oh, the Razor, actually, look at him, he's being dead, and there is the Chronosphere, and the March of Machine still doing a lot of damage, but defensive disruption. Avi still not having his ultimate. They used the flare on something else, I don't know why, not on the Chrono. There is of course the Shallow Grave on Valix, but and the Tinker of course being out, having to buy back. This is really looking dire for the Radiant side here, and I always love to say that. In the end, Eye of the Storm is not ready, but the tower is still going down. The Nether just doing so much work, and now they're gonna start chipping down those racks, of course, with the double Nether Blast.
They still have Ravage, they can fight. They're gonna have 3 Blade Mails as well. They're gonna have Eye of the Storm up in a bit. And this is the thing, it's not Shadow Shaman Death Prophet, but Uebelst just really seems to thrive well in these tower siege lineups.
Yep, they just go for a slow siege, just in Nether Blast, out, in Nether Blast, out. It feels like a bit sadomaso here, but I don't know. Let's see what's happening. And here just going for something. Maybe they're gonna focus here on the Razor. There is another nice Chronosphere, but only on 1. It's not really doing anything in the end. Tidehunter is just killing the Razor, and the Skywrath Mage also died. That makes only 3 people defending this. These racks are pretty much gone. The Tidehunter going in. The Ravage, of course, is out, but let's see. Avi, he's really greedy, but he has to be careful because there is not much left on him. There's 2 stacks of Shadow Poison, so the Dazzler has to be careful. Maybe he's actually dying. Yes, he is dying in the fountain. He had nothing to do there, nothing to heal himself, and Avi doing no damage whatsoever, but he's holding them all back, so racks are down, and maybe even Uebelst can continue here because they have all the people they need. They have, do they have Urn charges? No, but they have a Mac if they want to.
They have Mech, they have Pipe, and they have 3 sets of Mana Boots. Like, their sustain is ridiculous. Now there's another Blade Mail on Razor. He's going to start going towards his Refresher. To be honest, I think Uebelst just wins from here.
Yep, and the problem is also the Wraith King's ultimate is soon back up. They should definitely kill him before that's happening, but it's another 8 seconds. Now, there's a Chronosphere, but oh, Chronosphere for nothing. That's another 60 seconds. Chronosphere is down. 14 and 6 here in a 26th minute. Like, the game so passive all the time. Now suddenly they just switch to the next gear, and we are seeing a game with an awesome push here by Uebelst. 1 set of Rex down, but in the end they decide to go back. Maybe not the smartest decision. I think they could have gone for more, but of course the Tinker being split pushing at the same time. Maybe they try to actually find him here, but of course he's just blanking back, and therefore he's out.
I think they know that Roche is coming up soon, and the thing is, after you take fights like that and take towers, you're all very close to some items. So for example, Tide, he's sitting on 2k gold. Razor, he can start building his Refresher after getting that Blade Mail. Shadow Demon's got 3k gold. So I think another part of the reason why they backed off was just because they needed to go home and do all their shopping. So.
Yep, absolutely. And well, let's see, the Tinker's still split pushing. There will be some damage at least on the tier 3 tower. The creep wave, of course, dying pretty fast. But when it comes to their defense, I think Uebelst, they can just go for the next Roshan. Roshan is gonna spawn pretty soon. And this is less than a minute actually on Roshan, and let's see what Vinividivici is trying to do here. I mean, they still have the Chrono, but they have to do something with the Chrono. The problem is the last 2 Chronos didn't go for anything. The flare didn't come out. Like,
Bristleback just doesn't work well of giving damage in Chrono. You want to think about range supports. You think about something maybe like Luna, Mirana.
Also, the Bristleback only level 10. The Bristleback is really, really low in level. Like, in comparison, he's like 2 levels behind other cores. So I mean, he has level 4 bristles, but his ultimate also being low, and now look, Eye of the Storm making so much damage. Tinker, he doesn't even want to come here because he knows that, I don't know, he's gonna just kill himself in the blade mails.
There's blade mails and they have a pipe, so they're not even doing much damage to him anyway.
Oh, look at this. 20 HP at the tower, and they have to destroy that nether ward ASAP. It has to... No, it has to die. They're all just killing themselves. So Avi getting the last hit here. He's using the plate mail. So Tinker, look at Tinker's HP. Like, he's just losing so much just by one plate mail. And in the end, I don't know, and they try to wrap around here. The Skywrath Mage also being in the side. I mean, I like that positioning, but it's very they have to be very careful that not one of them is getting caught out. There has been a weave on like multiple targets. Actually, no, it just hit the Razor, but I don't know.
I think this is a big mistake from Tinker. He's upgrading his Dagon instead of going for a BKB.
But the BKB is...
There are so many... There are 3 blade mails and another ward. How can he spam his spells out reliably if he doesn't have a BKB? Without just killing himself.
I don't know, it's...
I mean, it decreases the mana cost for Dagon, I guess, but... I just don't agree with that pickup.
No, he really wants to like burst someone down, but the problem is level 2 Dagon, it's not really making a dent, and Uebelst is making the right decision here at the moment. They just go for Roshan, and with the medallion and all the damage half, of course, as well as the Vampiric Aura, this Roshan is falling really, really fast, and now... I don't know, like, I'm looking for something how Vici can come back, except for split pushing, because in a direct team fight, the cards are like newly shuffled and it's not really looking good. They go for Roshan. Tinker actually making quite a dent in this tower. There's already the first response. The Shadow Demon is coming in. There will be a rocket flying, and he's actually taking quite some damage here, even in the March of Machines. The tower, well, oh, Tinker, oh, he tried to come in, getting something done off either. There is, oh, maybe now with a Blink Dagger and another rocket. Oh, but he doesn't get it through. That's too bad. So in the end, Roshan goes down. Tinker just doing some damage on a tier 3 tower. It's about 50%, and Uebelst just coming back. And I think now it's time to get the mid-racks. They didn't find this ward here. This is, of course, not the best. They have exact vision of what's going on here. Some early March of the Machine maybe coming out now. Let's see. Oh, but there's a nice chrono. Like, maybe no flare this time, but Gasha already being dead, that's very important, but the Ravage coming out, Valix getting huge damage with all the plate mail, so Sona is pretty much done, and now Valix is trying to get more. He gets the Tide Hunter, and now he's maybe kiting the rest away, but Tinker, everyone just killed themselves in all these plate mails and nether wards, so Sky
they have no
just
BKBs,
going.
and
Yeah,
Uebelst
no
went all
buybacks.
in. They purchased drums, and they purchased flags at 30 minutes, which just says, I want to end the game, so...
The only one who has buyback is the one who is living, so this really looks really bad.
They freaking lost, man, and they know it. GG is called. So Uebelst playing to their own strengths instead of going for the anti-mage invoker, just going for the tower sieging lineup, and it is successful. So
Yep,
they're gonna ultimately
beautiful
take
game.
it 2-1 in this series.
Yep, very beautifully done. Like, this pushing strategy, it took them a while till they actually started with it, but like once we reached like that 20-minute mark, it suddenly they started rolling from one little snowball into a huge avalanche, and Vici, even though I gave them the better late game with Tinker, Faceless Void and Bristleback, but nope, they couldn't make it work. The Rex just falling too fast and nothing they can do, and the best answer, of course, the free plate mails plus the nether ward, like everybody just killing themselves by March of the Machines or using spells. Very amazing. Anyway, my name is Heflatv, and casting with me was Roxas. You can find this awesome guy on Twitter, of course, at callmeroxas. You can find me nowhere, pretty much. Everything that involves Heflatv that eventually leads always to me. And yeah, that's it for today. Tomorrow, on the 1st of July, we also have 2 more games of the GG League, and I think then soon we're going towards the final. I think the final should be... tomorrow final... Oh, I think the final is even tomorrow. No, in 2 days. Either way, I'm confused. I have to look up on the schedule. But tomorrow, of course, 2 more games. We have X Game versus Osliki and Goomba, another German team, versus the more Certa, like the MCHI team. So definitely 2 nice games tomorrow. Also again on Heflatv 1 and 2. And of course, if you want to support us, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything at Heflatv. And of course, follow here us on the Twitch channels. And that's it for us today. Some ads, some music, and the stream will be off in about 10 minutes. See ya. Thanks for tuning
watching,
in.
everyone.
Bye bye.
See you next time.